Rahim. Salam alaikum. Hello everyone. Today we will show the second part of the practical electrical work. We will present some definitions and objectives, and we will also present some of the applied work completed in the laboratory. So this work will be presented by Zafar Sumia, and let's start with work plan. So in work plan we have objectives and introduction, and the first practical work, introduction to equipment and preparation session for electricity practicals. And in this point we will talk about related terms. And the second practical work we have association and measurements of resistance. And here we will talk about objectives and materials used and manipulation. So let's move to objectives. The electrical tools and means present in the laboratory and how they are used by students with the rules of caution. And the second objectives is compute the value of electrical resistance by various methods. Apply and know how you can replace two resistors in series or two resistors in parallel with a single resistor and have the same effects on the rest of the circuit. And another objectives is association and measurement capacities. Employ the association of the condensers in the series and in parallel, and determination of the value of the equivalent capacitor using both theoretical and experimental methods. And of course knowing how to connect capacitors in series and in parallel. So the second point we have introduction, and this picture represents the mind map about the practical electrical work, and this mind map represents all information about this module and all the different practical work and their objectives. So let's move to introduction to equipment and preparation session for electricity practicals, and this practical work number 0, or like introduction about this module and the devices and materials in laboratory. So related term, the electronic laboratory is generally equipped with the following case consistent of components and test plates, and second electric wires. And here before this point we have this picture represent the test plates. This picture take from my laboratory. And second we have electric wires, and this picture represents the wires and different type of resistors and capacitor and multi device. And the multimeter is multifunctional device that combines the voltmeter, ohmmeter, and ammeter. And of course the voltmeter is a device for measuring the voltage potential difference in volts between 2 points in the circuit. And the ammeter is a safety tool used to check the presence of current in an electrical circuit and measure its intensity in amperes and direction. And for resistance is a passive component whose role is to convert electrical energy into heat through the Joule effect. To measure the resistance in ohms. And finally, we have a function generator. Is a type of electronic test equipment used to generate various types of electrical wave form as output signal or sine waves, square waves or triangular waves, or sawtooth waves, and more and more. And this picture represent or all the pictures taken from my laboratory. And let's move to practical work number 1. We have association and measurement of resistance. So the objectives here: first, understanding electrical components and determining the values of or the value of resistance using two methods: color codes and the multimeter device, and knowing how to connect in series and in parallel ways, and measuring the equivalent resistance experimentally and theoretically. Material used: in this experience we will use the various resistance and multimeter and conductive wires and test board or printed circuit board. So let's talk about the theoretical part before the manipulation. So the definition of resistance: the electrical resistance of a circuit is defined as the degree of opposition to the movement of electric current in this circuit. So the value of a resistor: there are two ways to determine the value of a resistor: the color coding method and the voltmetric method. So in manipulation, first we have measurement of resistance using color code and the multimeter. We have different resistance whose values are indicated by the color code provided below. Using this table provides the theoretical value of the resistors and as well as the value obtained using the multimeter. So this table represents the code or the color code. So, and we will take all the results when we use the code color and multimeter and write all the results in this table. This table represents the measurement of resistance using color code and the multimeter. So here the work required to be completed by the students is compare the obtained results. What do you observe? In your opinion, what is the best method for measuring the value of resistance? Give a conclusion about this experience. Second, verification of the laws of resistance association. A. Association of resistance in series. We have Ohm's law. The Ohm's law applied to each of the resistance all allows us to write U or the potential equal the R1I and U2 equal R2I. So, set up the following circuit. Place two resistance in series on the test board. Connect them and the multimeter with conductive wires. So let's take this or apply the figure number 1 in laboratory and complete the following table by calculating the theoretical and experimental equivalent resistance. Compare the value of the experimental and theoretical value obtained, and from the table, what do you observe? What is the role of using a resistance, and give a conclusion. And we have the same manipulation for association of resistance in parallel. Set up the following circuit. Place two resistors in parallel on the test board. Connect them and the multimeter with conductive wires, like the figure number 2. We will take this figure and apply it in laboratory. And we have the same question about this part. And finally, thank you for your attention.